Hi, this is Kimberly from Are You Awakening? And I'm here to talk to you today about the Mandela Effect. So cool. So what is it? I didn't make up the term. A very nice lady in the UK did, and you can go to mandelaeffect.com if you want to check it out. So I'm not taking credit for any of the information that is on there. Just a fantastic thing to consider as we're moving into what people call the new earth, and people are starting to awaken and question all sorts of things about what their reality is. And this Mandela Effect refers to timelines. So what is it? So I'm probably older than you. Tomorrow is my 53rd birthday. I always celebrate when there's a chance to have cake. And the Mandela Effect is related to Nelson Mandela, who, depending on your age, you may or may not know that much about. So Nelson Mandela was an African leader, and he was thrown in jail, and this is where it gets weird. So, there were lots of people who fully believed that the man should never have been thrown in jail, myself included, but in my world, he died in jail. And I remember it. I remember, who the heck is Nelson Mandela? I had to, ask somebody when I saw it on the news back then. And I'm like, oh, that's horrible. He died in jail. And there were riots and there was all this stuff going on. And I remember it very clearly. But if you look at Google now, you will see that he died just recently, just a few years ago. And so now we're saying, wait a minute. I remember him dying in prison, and other people are looking right now and saying, no, I remember him just dying as an old man. So which one's right? Exactly, right? So there is no right. All we did was those of us that remembered that he died in prison have jumped onto a different timeline. Now, when you jump onto a different timeline, not only does everything change from here on in, but it also changes in the past. So your past is actually different. That is so cool. I was all totally freaked out when I heard this in the beginning, and then I'm like, oh yeah. And so as I read the site a little bit more, I found some more examples that show that I was one of those people that changed timelines. And good, because I'm pretty sure that the timeline I would have stayed on was the one that blew itself up, but I can't be sure. I'm not even going to go look. And so here's another one that I love, Henry VIII. I used to be so in love with him, with all those big portraits painted and all the jewels he got to wear. And I remember a painting that I saw in a textbook. I was probably fourth grade or so, that showed him in one of those Holbein portraits with a chicken leg or a turkey leg. I think it was a pheasant leg. It was some bird leg he was eating, and had a bite taken out of it. And I was like, dude, that man's got it all. He's got a big old goblet full of wine. He's got a big old pheasant leg that he's eating. This guy has got it made, right? I'm going to be Henry VIII. Oh, that's creepy right there. Okay, so you can't find that painting anymore. And I remember it. My brother remembers it. So quite a few people I know still remember that painting, but you can't find it anymore. And so the question is, how can literally millions of people remember this painting, and now you can't find any evidence of it at all? And so this is another example of how we've jumped a timeline, and that entire past is gone for us. Okay? There are other people that are probably still on that timeline, if it's still there, and they would remember that painting with the pheasant leg. So there's a couple examples also on there that might interest you. The one with Curious George, the one with the Berenstain Bears. Dude, I remember the Berenstain Bears because I was like, are they Jewish? I did say that, I did. Even back when I was a kid, I'm like, they must be Jewish bears, because where'd that come from? But now you can't find Jewish bears anywhere. They're the Berenstain bears. So if it interests you to look it up, go to mandelaeffect.com. Again, it's not my information. I think it's really cool to consider and maybe open your mind a little bit about the fact that this 3D illusional reality that we're living in is not nearly as solid as we think it is. And as you go through your awakening process, you're going to see more and more of that, and you're going to question your sanity. Holy shit, am I crazy? What is going on? And understand that programming has been in place to make you feel like you're crazy because it was easy to control you. Well, that's over now. You don't have to worry about that. You do not need to be controlled. You are in control of yourself, and you can decide whether you're crazy or not. I'm going to say that again. You can decide whether you're crazy or not, because the only person creating your reality is you. All right, so if someone tells you that you're crazy for believing that Henry VIII had a portrait made with a pheasant leg, and you want to believe that that person knows more than you do about you, go ahead. Oh, see, there's the black ops coming to get me right now. No, I live in Hollywood, so it's probably a celebrity going home. Anyway, do understand that you are creating your reality. You are making those timeline jumps because you want it to be more in vibration with that timeline. So it's not a matter of you're winning or failing at anything. You're just making different choices when you jump those timelines. So fun stuff, huh? Maybe I'm gonna someday have a portrait made with me and the pheasant leg and the goblet. Yeah, if anybody remembers that, let me know. I would love to hear from people because I know lots and lots of people who do remember it, and I also know people who have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. And to find one to show them, even though it's in my head, is pretty much impossible right now. Okay, well, fun stuff. Enjoy being weird, enjoy being silly, enjoy being crazy, and remember that it's all you. All of us, we're all you, and we love you very much. All right, don't forget, always be you all the time. Love.